Oh my. This is... Okay, this lighting is super fucking wild. But, you know what? Let me turn on another light because this lighting is super wild. Oh, I think that's better. Okay. So, keep going. We're letting more viewers know you're live. All right. So now that we fixed the lighting here, I got a famous TikTok sweater because I don't know, I always wear this on TikTok because I like to keep the AC on Arctic blast. If anyone sets the thermostat anywhere that's above something in the 60s, man, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Dari, you started watching the OA? Hell yeah, that's some good shit. And that's exactly what we're going to begin today with timeline shifting. So I'm happy that you started watching that because they talk about timeline shifting there like a fucking boss. And that's what we're going to do. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start with a sermon like I always fucking do. And if you see the title of the live, because I don't see it anymore, I typed that in. Thank you for the roses. It says shifting timeline like a boss or some shit like that. Okay, so here we have my wonderful drawing. This says juncture point. Now this little fun animation here, even though it's not animated, but let's just pretend it is. This is what we're going to be discussing. Okay, so now, in my opinion, timeline shifting is okay. I wouldn't exactly call it revision, but it kind of is. But, you know, it's just semantics, so you can call it whatever the fuck you want, really. But I'm just going to call it revising a past moment to shift into the trajectory of the preferred timeline, okay? Because we do know that all timelines exist at once, and we are focusing on awareness on whatever timeline that pops into our mind, and we can access it now from our imagination. So whatever, cool, no problem. So whenever someone asks me how to revise something, for me the simplest and easiest thing to do is to not even go in and even give that shit any more attention. You just say, what, there's nothing to revise, that never happened, okay? However, if it's something where it's like you are sensing that it's pertinent for you to revise, or it's something that you want to see moving forward in a different trajectory, then what you would do is go into the juncture point. So we have somewhere, okay, this little dot here. Hey Trishala, what's up, girl? Thank you for joining. So we have this moment in your perceived past, because we know that, ooh, thank you for the gift. We know that past, present, future, it doesn't exist. It can only be summoned from your now moment. So all is now, yeah. Okay, so we have this moment in your perceived past, which is this dot over here. So this was the timeline, okay? Now, there was a crucial moment. Let's just go with this, okay? For something that you absolutely want to shift into another reality, where you're just saying, oh, that never happened. If it's not cutting it for you, if you still keep thinking about it, I'm going to suggest going in and shifting your awareness to an entirely different timeline. If you want to call it revision, you can. I just call it shifting, whatever. It doesn't really fucking matter, okay? So here's the moment. Let's say something that you, your ego perceives as critical happened, okay? And you don't want to experience that thing ever again. So just saying that never happened isn't enough. You're going to go back, and this is what I recommend, okay, is that you visualize this. For me, it just works better if you can visualize. If you can't, then you can write out a short script of, the scene, okay? But we're going back to that juncture point. So let's say you you got fired from your job. Okay, let's just use that as an example, but you could really use this with anything. You got fired from your job. Okay, so now at that juncture point in the perceived past, let's say it was 2 weeks ago, you got fired. No problem. Okay, well, I mean, it's not a problem if you go in and shift to another fucking universe where that never fucking happened. Okay, so you get fired from your job 2 weeks ago. Okay, now that was the trajectory. All the things that your ego can perceive led you up to getting fired don't fucking matter. It's just that critical point. Okay, so you could have worried here, you could have been concerned about money there, it could have been your boss looked at you funny over here. None of that fucking matters. What matters is the juncture point that you choose, that you want to revise from. And this is going to be different for every individual depending on their situation. Okay, so if you want to go back, then you want to pick the exact juncture point that you want to shift into the other timeline. All right, so in this case, you never wanted to get fired, you just wanted to keep your job. So you get fired, and then it sets off where you are right now. Okay, this is a timeline, right? But all timelines are available to you in the quantum field, so it just depends where you're placing your awareness. So you place your awareness that the past event, you got fired, you took that seriously in your mind, and now you're here and you're like, okay, what the fuck now? Okay, cool. So what you're gonna do after you pick the juncture point that you want to shift from, okay, it's kind of like the movie Vanilla Sky. We mentioned this in my other live, which they talk about that in there as well if you are interested. But it talks about that in that movie too. Okay, so you pick the place where you want to shift into the new reality. So let's say in this example, I never got fired. You would go in, and this is, I recommend an imaginal act. I recommend a visualization, because you're going to go in just a short little scene, and instead of that, your boss calls you into the office. They're going to call you into the office, and they're going to say, hey, we're giving you a promotion, we're giving you a raise, we're giving you a bonus, whatever you want to happen. Okay, so you're going to go into your imagination, that exact moment in the perceived past. You're going to look at what you were wearing. You're going to look around, and you're going to see the office. You're going to make it as real as possible in your mind. You're going to knock on your boss's door. Yeah, hey, you wanted to see me. Okay, and then your boss is going to stand up. Okay, this is just one example, but you use whatever the fuck you're doing it for. Okay, and in that scene, everything looks the same, right? The location is the same, what you're wearing is the same, what the other person, if there's another person involved, is wearing is the same. You go into it, because that's the juncture point. So if you're perceiving that as a memory, you're going to make that memory as vivid as possible in the realness of where it took place. Not what happened, but where it took place. And you're going to go in, and you're going to imagine your boss standing up from the desk, and they're going to be smiling, be like, hey, you're probably wondering why I called you into my office. And then you're like, why did you call me into your office? And they're like, you've been doing such an amazing job with this company that we're giving you a promotion, and you got an extra 20K in your fucking salary. Whatever it is, okay? That's just one example. And then instead of going to the timeline where you get fired, you're going to replay that visual over and over and over and over and over. And this sets the trajectory at the juncture point where the thing happened to a different timeline. Okay. And what I recommend with these visualizations is that you keep them very simple, but you get as much detail as you can as to where the memory took place. This way you're kind of tricking your mind. You're tricking the ego mind into believing, okay, yeah, that is what really happened. And you're going to go in with it, and you're going to go in with it, and you're going to go in with it, and you're going to keep saying it. How many times you're going to say this, I don't fucking know, because everyone is different. Sometimes you could just relax, do it one time, and then you're like, okay, good. It's already set on the proper trajectory, and then you move forward. However, okay, if the next day, let's say you do that visual and you picture that thing, and then the next day you're still a little like nervous about it, or you're like, did it work? You're going to go in again, and you're going to go in again. And this is very, very important. Okay. This is very important with quantum shifting. Okay. And this is why I don't really recommend it unless something it's like very, very, on your mind. Okay. I would recommend just saying that never happened. But if it's something that's like weighing on you, you have to make sure that you land this properly. And I don't know how many tries it's going to take you to land the fucking plane. I don't know. That's specific to you and how real you can make this visual of what you would have preferred happen at that juncture point. So how to know that you have landed the plane in this scenario is you're not going to feel like you need to do anything anymore. You're just going to be like, okay, yeah, like you're going to start to process that revision in that timeline at that juncture point. It's just going to process as a natural memory for you. So if you remember a happy memory from when you were 8 years old and you were fucking eating a hot dog on the lawn chair and Mima and Peepaw were, I don't know, fucking barbecuing. Okay, it's going to process as real as an actual memory. Because remember, you can only remember memory from the now moment. So technically it's all the same. So if you go in and you imagine a new memory from the past, your mind is just going to think that it's real anyway. Okay. And how you know this is that it's going to process as a memory and you're not going to question it. Like, just like you didn't question you were 8 years old, Mima and Peepaw were feeding you hot dogs on the fucking patio. You're just like, yeah, that happened. Okay. So you're going to go in where the juncture point is, and you're going to reset it. And that is how you shift, okay? You have to pick the place and time, and you have to feel it. I'm not saying feel it real, like, I mean, if an emotion comes up, that's great, but you have to feel like you're actually there in your visual. Like you're going to see the clothes that you were wearing. You're going to see the surroundings. You're going to have the conversation. And it's just, whether an emotion comes up or not, doesn't matter. You're just going to go over and over and over. Your boss is giving you a raise. Your boss is giving you a promotion. Your boss is giving you a raise. Your boss is giving you a promotion. They never fucking fired you. And then what happens, right? You're going to know that you landed the plane when it feels like a natural memory, and you're not going to question it. You're just going to be like, oh yeah, that happened. Okay, so now what's going to happen? This timeline here is not going to be in your awareness because you centered your focus around this timeline where the thing that you wanted to happen happened. So now your focus is there and you're remembering it like an actual memory. And then your job, okay, your only job from this point, once you have successfully landed the plane with rewriting the script at that juncture point, your only job is to not contradict it. Just say, yeah, it's already happened. It happened just the way that I imagined in my visual. And again, if you can't visualize, you would script it out. You would read it over and over, which is much detail, to the situation as you can. And you're just going to process it like, okay, yeah, that happened. And when you are sure of it, likely your ego is not even going to try to fucking fight with you on it. Your ego is just going to accept it. Your subconscious mind is going to accept it. And it's going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what happened. Okay. But if you do have a little kickback from your ego or whatever, oh, what you mean you never got fired? Like, do you see your bank balance? Do you see that you're staying home every day instead of you going to work? No. You're going to say, yeah, but it already happened. It already happened. If someone asks you, oh, so how you feel about getting fired, or are you applying for new jobs? You're not going to entertain it. Your only job, once you have landed the plane in that fucking scene where you went to the juncture point and you revise it to what you want, you're already on the trajectory of the new timeline, and you are the one that has to stick with it. That is your only job after that, okay? You wait. You keep doing it over and over until it processes as a natural memory for you. And then you're like, oh, I remember that. You're going to even start to remember it differently. Yeah, my boss called me and they gave me a fucking raise and a promotion, okay? And then if anyone asks you, you don't entertain it, okay? If your fucking husband, wife, whoever, boyfriend, girl, whoever the fuck partner comes home and they're like, oh, you ain't looking for a job today? You're like, nah, I took care of it. Whatever, I don't know what you're going to say in 3D to a motherfucker. Or maybe you told them you revised it if they're into this type of shit too. I don't fucking know. But you're not going to entertain that old story anymore. You'd be like, it's already settled, okay? Because what you don't want to do is reopen that timeline that you successfully erased, okay? And I'm telling you, if you are able to go in and revise it properly, no matter how many times you sense that you need to go in and revise, your ego is not even going to try to fight you on it. because it's like a regular memory. Meanwhile, people are feeding you hot dogs on the fucking patio. Yeah, that happened when you were 8 years old. Are you fighting with it? No, because your mind is like, yeah, that happened. It's not going on right now, but you can summon it now and you can relive that fucking scene. And I'm sure you could smell the fucking hot dogs and you could taste them fucking too, okay? So it's to be like the same thing. You to make the fucking imaginal scene as vivid as you possibly can. Not that you need to feel an emotion, but if you feel an emotion, all the better, okay? But if you can't, you're just gonna say, oh, I smell whatever in the fucking office. I don't know, right? You smell air freshener that they fucking use to clean the office with. I smell it. I remember what I was wearing, like all of this stuff, okay? So you're going to make that as vivid as you possibly can. You're going to put as much detail and you're going to see your boss and they're going to be telling you whatever. And then you're just going to accept that that actually happened, okay? And then from that point forward, you don't entertain anything of that. And then if you even start looking at timing, it's just like the same as any other manifestation. Even though you went into the past and you revised it, you set the trajectory, you start looking at the time. Oh, but you went in and revised it and I don't see a change in the 3D. It doesn't matter. It's already been revised. You don't see a change in the 3D about the memory. Meanwhile, people are feeding you fucking hot dogs on the fucking patio. So why you need to see proof of this one, right? You know that it happened. That's what I'm telling you. I recommend doing this over and over and over until you have saturated your mind enough so that you don't even question that it really happened. And in a way, it is kind of like gaslighting yourself because you're like, yeah, but that really happened. But it's not, because the only things that are happening are things that are going on in your mind, and you proved that so much with negative bullshit that you fucking fed yourself over the fucking months or years or whatever the fuck, okay? You were here, and now we're gonna go to the next topic, which is kind of piggybacking off of this because it's like the same fucking shit, only we're doing some shit from the fucking future, not some shit from the fucking past, okay? So there are a lot of times that maybe you went into a relationship. Oh, you went into a fucking relationship, homie Holmes. You went into a relationship and you went in and you had some shit programming about whoever the fuck it is or relationships in general. You went in. What were you doing then, friend? You know what you were doing? You were going in, you were saying, I bet this motherfucker gonna do something. I bet this motherfucker gonna leave. I bet this motherfucker gonna cheat. This motherfucker gonna ghost. You went in, and what you were essentially doing there, you were creating that from a future juncture point. Okay, so a juncture point can happen at any time. Okay, so let's say, oh my God, oh, my drawing got a little cray, but it's all good. We don't give a shit because nothing matters unless you say it fucking does. So we have the juncture point, okay? So you went in to a relationship, okay? So the juncture point, you enter a relationship and you have shit programming about relationships or about this person or whatever the case, okay? You have a low self-concept. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but you do. So you went in and you're like, oh, this motherfucker gonna cheat. They gonna ghost, they gonna do, right? So you're going into it, but then you're saying at a future point, they're going to cheat, they're going to ghost, they're going to do something that you don't like. So what are you doing? You're creating it, but it's a juncture point in the future, okay? So you enter into it and you're assuming that's, why do I keep erasing shit? Oh my God, whatever, it don't fucking matter, okay? So maybe I'll do this side. So we go in there. This is such a lovely drawing. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's jiggy. So you go in and you're setting the trajectory for a future juncture point, not a past juncture point, but it's still a point in time where this motherfucker is going to act out. They're going to cheat. They're going to lie. They're going to ghost you, whatever the fuck it is, okay? So you're setting that trajectory for something negative based off of your assumptions. Now, did you go in and fucking do a visual where you revised it from them being, you know, your perfect lover to that? No, likely you fucking didn't, but you were able to believe that so easily and assume that so easily because you had a shit mindset about that to begin with. So, you know, revision wasn't necessary because you were just already projecting that naturally, okay? So the juncture point is now you are projecting into the future. So you realize and you catch yourself when you get into this relationship. You're like, oh shit, what am I projecting on this motherfucker? It's some shit that I don't much care for. So why am I projecting it? So you know what? that would set you down this trajectory over here where they're doing something, they're lying, they're cheating, they're ghosting you, whatever the fuck, okay? So that didn't happen, but it's happening in your mind, so it's very much alive and it's very much real. But what you want to do is, because this is a future event, okay, and you caught yourself because you know about the law and all that shit. So you go in, you're in the relationship, and now you're projecting like, okay, you know what, how to project into the future, something that you want, what you're going to do. So you're going to say, you're going to envision a scene, okay, or you can just affirm, but, you know, you can, we're talking about switching timelines. So let's say you went into that relationship and you had a poor perception about whatever it was, okay? You go in, there's a poor perception, cool, no problem. And you start to notice maybe they're pulling away, maybe they texting you less frequently, maybe they, you know what I mean? And you start to notice that you're like, oh shit, I don't even want to reach this goddamn fucking juncture point, but I see how I had a hand in helping create it, but I see it might be leading there, right? Because your mind is always going to be on the lookout for something going wrong, so you're going to start to see that, okay, I'm going to see everything as going right from here on forward, so now we're not going down the juncture point where motherfucker leaves or ghosts or lies or cheats or whatever the fuck you think they're going to do, okay? Now, you go to a future point, okay, because you catch yourself. It's the same thing. Now you're creating another pathway. You're going to go in because you're still there, and you're going to this point in the future where you caught yourself. So instead of you finding out some shit that they lied or cheated or they wronged you or they did something, you're setting the trajectory to go over here to something that you want to happen. Oh my God, yes, I brought out the whiteboard. Yes, I did. A little mini guy, because, you know, he's a portable motherfucker. But it's all good, very convenient here. Because I don't be having time to set shit up like a studio and shit, whatever, okay? So we got this whiteboard. And so now you are setting a juncture point. Instead of the past, like with the previous one that I talked about in that example, is going back to past that you revised, you go to the future. And you picture a scene where, you know, this is similar to maybe like Neville Goddard's SATS technique, only you don't need to do it right before you go to sleep, although you can, it doesn't really fucking matter. But you're going to imagine a scene where instead of, because you change the trajectory from then lying or cheating or being ghosting you or whatever the case, right? You went in and now you're going to that juncture point in time that you find out that the SP is in love with you, or the SP is proposing to you, or the SP is planning a nice vacation for the two of you, and you find out that, oh, the motherfucker that you thought they had something going on with was, you know, a relative or something, right? Or, you know what I mean? Okay. So you are now going in there, okay? And the thing that you're most worried about is you are in that trajectory where you're like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. Oh my God, something's gonna have you in panic mode. You're gonna go in with the same process, and you're gonna, thank you for the roses, and you're going to go to that future point in time. And you could place that point in time wherever the fuck you want. It could be a week from now, it could be an hour from now, I don't know, it doesn't really fucking matter because time doesn't exist either way. But you're gonna go in and you're gonna picture that motherfucker, the one that you're with, okay? And then they're gonna do something nice for you, or you're gonna find out that the shit that you were worried about all along this point was it was just not happening, okay? And then you don't need to feel anything, but you're like, oh man, I'm so relieved. Like, wow, like I was so worried about that, and this person is my perfect partner, and they showed up for me like this because it, you know, they're so like head over heels in love with me, and this whole time I thought they were doing something shady, but what they were actually doing is planning a surprise trip for me, for just the two of us to go around the world or whatever the fuck, I don't know, whatever, you know, it's up to the individual's preference, okay? But you're gonna go in and you're going to add, because this is gonna make it seem more real, okay? This is going to make it seem more real. You're going to add, oh man, I can't believe I was worried about this person. I can't believe I was worried about that post. Oh, I know what the truth is behind that. Yeah, that was their fucking cousin from, I don't know, Minnesota or some shit, okay? And you're going to be like, wow, oh my God, no, they didn't ghost me. They were actually, you know what they were doing? They flew to wherever the fuck to go buy my perfect engagement ring, and it was only available in the store, and they didn't want me to know what they were up to because there's just a surprise proposal. And then they had their mom tell me, oh, I don't know where this person is, because the mom was in on it too, because of course they told their mom about you because they're so in love with you. So you're gonna add in the things because, right, this is the seasoning, because you already kind of went with that story. So to make it more palatable for your subconscious to ingest, you're just gonna say, oh wow, I had nothing to worry about this whole time, right? You're gonna add that to it. So this way it's kind of like adding the realness to that, because it's adding something that you genuinely had a anxiety about, but it's saying, oh, there was nothing to worry about this whole time. Okay, that's going to make it more real. Don't ask me why or how. It fucking is. Okay, this is what we're doing here. Okay, and then instead of going down the trajectory where they're doing something shady to you, you go into that point in time and you picture them. Oh man, like they were proposing to me this whole time, and I thought some shady shit was going on. Look at me. Okay, and then now what did you do? You reset the trajectory. You quantum jumped into a perceived future moment, but it doesn't matter because there's no past, there's no future, there's only now. So you can only perceive the past to the future from the now fucking moment. And then you went in, and then now you're on the timeline where everything is perfect and jiggy prime. You see what I'm saying? So you could do it either which way. You could do it from the perspective of like the past. You could do it from the perspective of the future, but you know, the key is with these type of quantum shifting things, you want to keep replaying it and make it as vivid as possible in your imagination or in your scripting if you're not a visualizer, as real as fucking possible, to the point where all of you is in alignment with, yeah, that's what happened. Okay? You're not even remembering the unfavorable story, whether it's from a perceived past or a perceived future. You're just going with, yeah, this is what's going on. And even if you're suggesting something from the now moment into a perceived future, you're still only recalling it now. And remember, only the now moment creates. So you're like, oh man, like it's going to start to feel like a memory for you. Okay, it's going to start to feel like memory. Oh man, I remember when I was worried about SP doing this, that, and third, but the whole time they were in love with me, planning a secret proposal. Oh my God, like, wow, that actually fucking happened. Okay, and then it's just going to feel so real, just like me, more people feeding you hot dogs on the fucking patio. You're just going to accept it as true. And likely your ego is not even going to try to question it because you've accepted it. And again, how to know that you have accepted that is you're going to feel like it's a memory. You're going to feel like it's a real memory comparable to something that you have experienced. Like, you know, whatever, okay? So that is how you, I don't even want to call it revision, but that's how you jump into a timeline, okay? You just imagine that set point in time where what you ideally want to be happening is happening, and you summon that to your now moment until it processes as neutral and real to you. And that is going to be different for everyone. I don't know how long it's going to take. You might get it in one shot. You might take 2 times. You might take 3 times. I don't fucking know. It really depends on you. But when you do this, what you're doing is shifting into a timeline where all applicable parties are now already conformed to exactly the way that you want. So if you are, let's say with that example that I gave for, you know, getting fired from the job, your boss is not the boss that fired you. Your boss now in the timeline that you've shifted to is a boss that gave you a raise or gave you a promotion. So they're not even the same person. So as long as you don't conjure up anything from the old timeline, as long as you don't entertain conversations about it, the other person or other people involved are not even going to be aware that that previous timeline ever happened, okay? Because you're going to get to the point where you're going to remember the thing differently. And it's going to be authentic in you. You're going to remember it differently. You're not even, it's like, because all the awareness comes from you. So if you're saying another individual has a memory, then they're going to have a memory of that because you're saying so. But if you're saying, wow, this person has always shown up like this for me, and you genuinely, because you've landed the plane, you accepted it as real, because the only realness is the now moment, right? You are likely not even going to remember that former version of them. So you're not even going to remember your boss firing you. You're not even going to remember the SP that seems like they were pulling away. You're only going to be in alignment with the boss that gave you a raise, that gave you a promotion, with the SP that proposed to you, with the SP that was planning a trip for you. That's it. That's it. Okay? So, I mean, I don't know what, if like Neville Goddard is calling this SATs or some shit, you know, that's one thing. I wouldn't necessarily call it SATs so much as I would call it timeline shifting. Because you're going to the exact moment in time. Whereas like with Neville Goddard, when he was imagining his whole Barbados scenario, like he didn't go into a point in time. Like, of course, he was imagining himself there now, which, you know, set him on that trajectory. But he wasn't necessarily changing his past. So if you want to change something from the past, or if you see that something might lead to a future perceived juncture point and you don't like where it's going, this, in my opinion, is different than, you know, just an imaginal act. This is going to a specific point in time, the juncture point, where you're like, oh, okay, I'm visiting this now moment and I am changing it to go a different trajectory, right? Whereas like, you know, Neville's thing, he wanted to go to Barbados, which you can do that too. You know, you can just go in and imagine something and have it happen. But in this particular case, what I'm talking about with, you know, that is how you shift timelines. Okay. You go to a specific juncture point where it's like the intersection. Okay. It's the intersection. So at that specific moment, where do you want it to go? Or let's say you have, you know, and some motherfuckers are going to come on here, but time doesn't exist. I'm going into a fucking juncture point in a moment in time, motherfucker. Shh. Okay? Thank you for the heart. Time doesn't exist, which is why you can do this, which is why this is possible. Okay? But if you want to shift timelines, well, that implies that we're going to a space in time in our mind and we are shifting out of it. So if we're shifting out of it, we're going to go into it and imagine that specific point in time differently so that everything can be rewritten that we didn't want, okay? So, you know, motherfuckers try to be cute with shit like that. And I'm just like, my dude, you take shit up the butt, don't you? You just take it right up in the butt. You don't need no lube. You just like, okay, so whatever. So if you want to do a visual imaginal act and you don't care about changing a timeline, you just want something in your experience now, then yeah, imagine that it's going on now. But if you want to shift a timeline, like in the examples that I mentioned, that is what you fucking do. Okay? That's what you do. You know, but personally, for me, I like, if something that you didn't want to happen happened, I would just go with that never fucking happened. It never happened. Okay, but if you really want to shift it out, if it's just going to give you a peace of mind, then you do that procedure. Okay, that's really it. It's not you know, but the key point in this is that you would want to continue to do it until it feels like it actually happened. Okay, you know, you wouldn't like that. That's how it works, because, you know, the thing from the OA, whoever joined and mentioned the OA in the beginning, what they talk about in the OA, this is maybe going to be a spoiler alert, I don't know, is she says something, and I forget if it was season 1 or season 2, but basically she's like, you know, if it's like I landed in a body that was already in motion. Okay, so you are already in motion. You're always in motion because your consciousness is already in motion. So when you are going into a different timeline, there's also infinite versions of you. So I did not watch this sell yet because I could not figure out where to find it. And I looked on all the platforms and I didn't see anywhere that I could like stream it. I mean, for free. I don't know. No, did you watch it? But you are always in motion because your consciousness is always in motion. Okay. So therefore it's like, when you are switching a timeline, that version of you, that identity already exists, where the thing either happened or it didn't happen, or it happened to your favor, or however the fuck you want to call it, okay? That version is already in motion. So when they talk about in the OA, I landed in a body that was already in motion, it's like that timeline has been going on the whole time, okay? It's just that your awareness was focused on the unwanted timeline. So now you are shifting into that version, which already has a whole script to it. Okay, this is why sometimes when you are shifting a timeline, you might notice weird things, okay? And I've heard because I've listened to them. There's stories on YouTube, and you know, I'm a big horror fanatic, okay? So they're like horror stories, but I'm like, yo, this is kind of like quantum shifting. So they'll talk about stories where they'll go into like an underground room in a basement, and then they come out and then things look the same, but they're slightly different. And they're like, yo, I shifted into a parallel universe where it's like people are behaving differently, or like the corner store that they always would go to is not there anymore. It's a different corner store, whatever. Okay. So, oh, it's $3.47 on Prime. I didn't know that. I mean, I do have Prime. I don't know. I'll see if I'm guided to like, I don't know, pay. I mean, it's not that much to watch it, but I mean, I'd rather watch it for free. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy it. It's just for research purposes. But basically they're talking about like in these horror stories that like they went into a place like a portal or some shit, and then what happened is that they shifted timelines and things looked the same, but they were slightly off. The corner store was maybe renamed, or it's no longer exists, and now it's like a fucking Target or some shit. I don't fucking know. Okay. So basically what that is showing, okay, is that sometimes when you shift to a timeline, okay, and I mean dead ass, okay, like put that ass in the casket, shit is dead, bury it, okay, hold a funeral for it, dead ass. If you shift a timeline properly, okay, you likely, right, when you go in with that new memory, you likely are going to start noticing differences, okay? Especially if it involved like a particular person, okay? People are just going to start showing up differently because it's a literal whole other timeline, okay? So of course, like the applicable individuals who are in the scene that you visualize, yes, they're going to be behaving differently because you are, but you might notice other weird things too. Okay, like you might notice that your neighbor always had a blue car and now it's a red car or something. Like, I'm just saying, maybe not in all cases, but because it is a literal shift and that timeline has already been going on and you're stepping into a body already in motion, the thing that you don't want to do is freak yourself out. Because then what's gonna, you know what I mean? Then you're like, whoa, this really worked. Oh no, like, you know what I mean? So you're just like, yeah, like this is okay. I mean, there's little things that are different here, but you know what? It's okay because I see how powerful I am. I literally shifted into another timeline. And that's exactly what it is, okay? So if things start looking different, even like tiny things, or things appear out of nowhere, you just know that that is like also a sign that you shifted. But of course, the biggest sign that you shifted is the way that you are perceiving things, okay? Because you even too might start rethinking differently. So let's say you shift into another timeline, and then all of a sudden, like me, for example, I'm not a particular fan of fruit, okay? I think the texture is creepy as fuck, okay? I like me some avocado. I like me some tomato. I like mangoes, only if the mango is diced and pickled. But the texture of fruit creeps me out. Like kiwi, like you got like you chewing on a fucking cherry and all of a sudden there's a seed in your mouth or something. I don't know what the fuck the thing you chew on it and there's a seed in your mouth. No, fuck you. Watermelon, no, I don't do none of that shit, okay? Dragon fruit, unless the dragon fruit is like seasoned and prepared to be like whatever, okay? But like I don't do fruit. So let's say I shift timelines, okay? Like I like me some vegetables. I love me some vegetables, and I love me some junk food. Okay. So basically, I don't. Oh my god. Yes, you see, things are creepy. Things around you are changing. Hell, you hate mushroom. I love mushrooms. I don't know if mushroom is a fruit though, but I love it. I love all types of mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so let's say I shifted to a timeline, and all of a sudden I start having a craving for fruit. Like I want some kiwi. Okay, I want some cherries. I want some fucking pears and shit. Like I can't even, okay? But let's say I woke up one fucking jolly good afternoon and I'm like, "Oh, I feel like having an apple." Okay? That would be like that body in that timeline that I envisioned. It's already in motion, and maybe that body for whatever reason is partial to fruit. Okay, and then I start developing like a taste for fruit. So that was just a personal example with me, but like for you guys, even if you start noticing weird things, right? Like you don't like to work out, and then you go and do this type of thing where you're revising something and you wake up and you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to the gym." You're like, "That's out of character." Yeah, so those are all signs too that you have shifted, because that body is already in motion, and for whatever reason in that timeline, that body likes to go to the gym, which you likely will find out the reason why at a later point in time. You know what I'm saying? Because like maybe the parallel universe me is just into fruit for some reason in that timeline, and I'm gonna find out the why later. But like little things like that. Do you fuck with Do you fuck with the fruit when the skin is off? Hell no. I can't. The texture to me is just creepy. It's like so creepy. It's like you're like biting into it and it's like kind of crunchy, but then it's not. It's like soft, and then there's like juice squirting in your mouth. Like, ew. Oh God. Oh my God. I can't. I mean, although I love me some avocado. I love mushrooms. Are creepy. I love mushrooms. Oh, pineapple. Oh, hell no. Unless it's like pineapple juice with like some sort of like liquor. I don't like no pineapple. I don't fuck with no pineapple. Oh, hell no. No bananas. Nope. And bananas, the scent of them is like, whoa. Like I can't do no bananas. Like when I see a banana, when I smell a banana, I get, number one, I start laughing because I have the fucking sense of humor of like a prepubescent person, but I'm just like, banana, no, like I can't be doing that. So but that is likely a sign that you have shifted banana. Yo, for real, like I can't be doing no banana. Like that's just not it. Nope. You never see bananas the same. Dubai strawberry. I ain't doing strawberries from nowhere. It could be Dubai. It could be Japan. It could be Georgia. I will absolutely not do strawberries. Yeah, in another universe, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If anyone, oh, I love plantains, but only when they're like mashed and fried, because it like changes. I don't know. It's like, you know what it is? Like I have a very bitter palate. Okay. I like bitter things, like, and to me it doesn't taste bitter. So I think fruit also, it's very like cloying. It's like very sweet to me, and I don't like it. So that's why, like, even mango, if it's diced and pickled, it's still not sweet. Like I love bitter. Ooh, oh, I love bitter. Oh, like, oh, I love it. Okay. Anyway, like I love kale. I'm gonna say it. I love kale. Kale is so good. Bitter melon. Oh, olives. I don't know if olives are bitter though, but I like all those type of things. I love pickles. Hazelnut. I could do hazelnut, but hazelnut to me is still too sweet. Ooh, you love kale too? Hell yeah. Kale is amazing. I mean, but I'm not gonna eat it like raw and plain. You know what I mean? Oh, I love olive juice, and I love pickle juice. I love when you get pickle juice and then you like mix it with a fucking shot of whiskey. That's just fucking lit. Ooh, citrus. I do like citrus. Ew, no, orange. I remember I bit into an orange. I love Brussels sprouts, but they smell like, I don't know, hard ass. they smell really bad. So I barely cook them. And I don't even like to get them takeout because it's like, oh my God, like it smells like ass and feet and like butt crack shit. Like it's just like, nah, it ain't that, but I love the taste of them. Bear Burger has this really good side of like Brussels sprouts, and I fucking love that one. But the smell of it is just no. The taste of it is good. Anyway, where the hell was I going with this? Yes, so Brussels sprouts, they do. I don't know why they stink. I don't know. They're so good. They're so good. But yeah, so basically when you have shifted, okay, if you start noticing little things about yourself, like your preferences, whatever, that's a sign that you've shifted. And it's cool, yes, liking things that you usually don't, or maybe you used to really like something and then now you don't like it anymore. It's because for whatever reason, that isn't functional in that new timeline. Okay, so that's basically what it is. But other than that, like shifting timelines, you know, the more real that you make something with, especially with something like that, the quicker you're going to notice the shifts. But then when you notice the shifts, you don't want to freak yourself out because, you know, I think I talked about this in one of my other videos. Like when you really start manifesting and things start showing up instantaneously, and I mean things that like your ego would perceive as big or small, you're going to be like, oh. You'd be like, oh man, or maybe not, I don't know. But for me, I can say personally, when I started like really manifesting and shit would just show up, big things, little things, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was like, oh. So then for me, I was like, okay, I gotta be mindful of every fucking thought I think, you know what I mean? And not that like every thought manifests, but it's like your dominant focus, right? But even when you start seeing evidence of your manifestations coming in, some individuals might be like, oh shit, so now I have to be mindful of everything. And it's like, you want to be mindful regardless to tune yourself, and then it'll just start becoming natural, like just a natural way that you think. But you, it's your dominant focus that manifests, okay? It's not like, and I know individuals are going to say, oh, okay, you know, your college manifestation showed up and it's a college that's competitive. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I mean, shocked in a good way, you know, because it's just like, it's amazing when you really start seeing things move like that. But it's your dominant focus, okay? So if you have a fleeting thought where you're like, oh, I wonder what my friend so-and-so is doing. This is a friend that you maybe haven't seen in like 3 years or some shit, right? You're like, oh, I wonder how they are. And then they text you. That wasn't a dominant thought. You thought about it once, but the key point with that is that you had no resistance to it because your ego didn't care. It didn't perceive it as big or small, so there was no block. That's why that thing showed up. But your dominant focus is what manifests your dominant experience. So if your dominant focus, and this is what I recommend to individuals, which in my most recent video, I was saying you can manifest even with wavering because you've manifested before with wavering, because I'm sure a lot of you have caught yourself and you're like, oh, well, I know this is going to happen. Oh, but I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. Then you go in and you try to revise it. And then you're like, okay, no, it's good. But you were dominantly focused on the negative thing happening, and the negative thing still happened, even though you wavered back and forth to try to get it not to happen. Okay, so if you can do that with things that you perceive as negative, you can do that with things that you perceive as positive, because the law is the law is neutral, and the law doesn't give a shit what you perceive as negative or positive. It's just giving you exactly what you present to it. Okay, so this is why it's like you don't want to focus really on what anyone else is doing or trying to find a new technique or whatever. Like, the main thing, your dominant focus is what manifests. So just keep your mind in alignment with the things that you want, or at least start training yourself to start looking at things more favorably in the 3D. So if you're someone who's more of a pessimist, number one, you're going to stop saying that you're a fucking pessimist, and you're going to start saying, I always look at things in the most perfect way for me, or whatever the case is, right? And then you're actually going to implement it. And this is what I tell everyone. I tell everyone this, okay? If you never said an affirmation, if you just made a decision what you wanted and then you just didn't think against it, you didn't do one visual, you didn't listen to one subliminal, you didn't go into a meditation, if you just didn't think against it, that would be all you need to do. Okay, so you make a decision. Okay, so $20 million in a duffel bag, unmarked bills. Okay, that whatever. I always joke about that, but you know what? I mean, when that shit shows up in my reality, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't even be shocked. I'd be like, yeah, well, I was summoning you, bitch. So $20 million in a duffel bag just shows up. It appears magically out of thin air. And I'm like, okay, right? I made that decision. That's what I want. As long as I'm not thinking against it, the thing is already in motion, right? Because like I said, with that quote from the OA, the thing is already in motion. So that reality, right? Because I illuminated it with my God spotlight, now it's in motion and we're being magnetized towards each other, where that 20 million in the duffel bag is just going to show up because I didn't think against it. Okay. Whereas, well, maybe it won't happen. Maybe it will. Oh, maybe the time it's going to take or whatever. If you just didn't think against it, and you were clear that you didn't have like shit beliefs surrounding money, because again, if you don't think against it, but you have a contradictory subconscious belief, then yes, that can slow it down too. So make sure you know, if there's something that you've noticed that you really are seeing a pattern in, or you're like, okay, how come it hasn't showed up? That's when you want to go in and say, do I have any subconscious beliefs that are contradicting this thing that I want? Because likely that's it. So in my case with the 20 million, I don't have any subconscious beliefs that are contradicting it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's not even something I care about. It's like literally something that I joke about. Okay. So there would be nothing for me to do. Whereas let's say there's someone that has a belief system about money or about whatever. If you're manifesting a relationship, okay, yeah, I'm happily married to SP, but you think all relationships are shit, right? That would be the subconscious belief that you would work on. But you technically don't need to do anything. You know what I mean? Like that's you, because the interesting thing with manifestations, just in personal experience and what I've heard from others, is that the times that their manifestation showed up, they weren't looking for it. They weren't thinking about it. They sure as shit weren't thinking against it, because they weren't thinking about it at all. But it just wasn't on their mind. And for some reason, they were compelled to go here or to text this or to email that or whatever. They were just, or go to some random place that had nothing to do with the thing that they were manifesting. And then the thing that they were manifesting showed up in that random place. But all the while, they're like, oh, okay, I don't know why I'm going here, but I feel like doing it. Because you are going to be guided. You're going to be guided. That's it. That's it. You don't need to do anything. Okay? Once the decision has been made, the GPS starts figuring out a route, just like the GPS in your fucking Google Maps. And it's saying, okay, which is the easiest, fastest way to get there? And that's just how it fucking works, right? The GPS is just looking for the path of least resistance. And sometimes the thing can appear instantaneously, or you think about it, boom. Okay? But if you're there, and thinking against it can also be like you're trying to figure out how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or whatever the case, right? Thinking against it doesn't just mean, oh, I wonder if it's going to happen. Am I doing something wrong? Do I need another technique? Thinking against it can mean a whole multitude of things. So the more that you enjoy the moment and the more that you're just like, you know what, this shit is already taken care of. Whatever I'm meant to do or not do is just going to happen. You're going to start trusting it more, okay? And that's something that you either trust or you don't trust. You can't really force trust, okay? You can definitely say, oh yeah, I trust that the manifestation has already been unfolded. You can say that and say that and say that to help you get more in alignment with trust. But really, you know, the sense of trust and the sense of surrender and the sense of allowing, it's like you're not struggling. You're just like, okay, it's done. Whatever, it's done. That's it. There's nothing to do. And this is where in my opinion, it's one of the biggest things with manifesting, because individuals are constantly striving to achieve something or attain something, and they're looking for something, right? And that's coming from the ego. Okay. So that whole fucking quote with the Bible verse, be still and know that I am God. What they tell you to go out and get a fucking pitchfork and a shovel and start digging up trying to find your manifestation. No. You know what I mean? Like it just be still. Okay. Yep. That's what I'm doing. So, hey Shelly, what is up, girl? Thank you for joining. So, you want to just relax, and a lot of times that can be the most difficult thing, is just relaxing and allowing it to happen. And that's why individuals can feel like nothing is happening, even though the second you declare something is done, movement has already begun. It's already done, right? To get you to where you want to go. But you're not gonna like fight with it. You're gonna surrender. And if at first you don't surrender, you're going to go in again and you're going to say, you know what, I relax. I trust that this has already unfolded perfectly for me. And that's what it is. Like there's nothing to do. Okay. It just is. The manifestation just is. And that's why whenever people are talking about the law and they're saying creation is finished, that means you're not going in to like assemble it like fucking IKEA furniture. You're just like, okay, whatever. Like what else is there for you to do? The version of you that has it is not looking for it and is not concerned how did it get. Was I talking for an hour already? Wow. I got the puzzle piece. So, yes, changing your mind can be the hardest work. The more you try, the more it repels. Yeah, because you're not supposed to do anything, okay? Because however you want to look at it, manifestation, right? They say creation is finished, that timeline is already complete. There's nothing for you to do other than just say, okay, yeah, it's done. And I'm the one that in my consciousness is being gravitated towards it, right? So that timeline now is magnetizing me towards it because I said it's done. This is where I want to go. The GPS is just like it's on autopilot. It's getting you there, okay? It's like a fucking Waymo. It's just driving itself, right? So you don't need to do anything. You just sit back. You're like, all right, oh, what's happening over here in the 3D? It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with me. Whoa, what's going on over there? Oh, shit. Okay, it doesn't matter because I'm still going there. So you want to, if you want to do anything, you are making an effort to either leave it alone and just let it play out, or if your ego tries to kick in and give you some type of funny remark, you're going to go in and you're going to say, oh, well, that's happening because I already have what I want. And this is just, the road. That's it. It's already done. So why am I going to be concerned with what the fuck is going on either side of the road, right? Stay in your lane. You mind your business. You let the Waymo fucking do its thing because it already has the set point in the GPS and there's nothing for you to do. It's on autopilot. It's on autopilot. It just is. Okay? And the ego is used to trying to make things happen because that's what we've been programmed, right? But manifestation is different from everything that we've already been programmed. It's the exact opposite, in fact, because even with the programming, like motherfuckers will be like, oh, well, with your ego, yeah, well, you have to face your problems head on. You have to deal with it. You have to figure out a solution. No, you don't. Because to figure out a solution is to even accept that there's a problem in the first place, and there are no problems unless you perceive something as a fucking problem. So that's really what it is. It's like getting the ego out of the way and just saying it's done. And if you didn't think about it again, yawning. If you didn't think about it again, then it wouldn't matter because the thing is already done. And just consider when you make a decision with conviction, you're already heading on the trajectory there, okay? Because you made the decision. Just don't think against it. You're getting there, okay? But if you keep telling the fucking Waymo, you're like, oh, stop over here, stop over there. I want to see what's going on here. I want to see what's going on over there. Then how long is it going to take you to fucking get to the destination, That's it. So manifestation really is like super easy because you can think of all the things that you didn't really put too much importance upon, and then those things manifested rather fast into your 3D because they were there the whole time just waiting for you to be aligned with it. And that's what it is. Okay, it's getting the ego out of the way and saying, you know what, like, just because I've always thought a certain way about how to achieve my goals, it doesn't mean that it's right or correct, and I refuse to accept that now because I know who I am. I am the Lord and there is none else. And shit is already done. Creation is finished. What is there for me to do? Does, like I said, my other live, does God need to earn something? You know what I mean? What's a Waymo? Waymo is a self-driving, it's like an Uber, only it doesn't have a driver. It's like computer automated. So yeah, I've never ridden in one, but I've seen them and I'm just like, okay, like they're cool, but that was like Tesla. I'm not familiar with Tesla. Have a good night, Miss Perfect. Conviction is believing it's true. Conviction is knowing it's true. So I'm not familiar with Tesla. I have heard that they do have like a self driving option, but I mean, I know nothing about that, so it could be or it might not be. I'm not sure, to be honest. So it's just, when you like really realize how simple this is, you're gonna be like, how was I ever concerned about anything? Like, there's nothing to be concerned about. Thank you for the rose. Because if you're creating it all, right? And that's also the thing with like fear and things like that. What are you afraid of? Because if you are everyone and everything, you fear that you don't get it, then just decide, you fear you're not going to get it, then just decide that you have it already. You know what I mean? Like it's like everything is you. There's no higher power judging you saying, I'm going to grant this motherfucker this thing, but I'm not going to grant this motherfucker that thing. You are the higher power. It's all coming from you. So it's like, now I'm seeing an image. Oh, this is so interesting. You ever see those things where they put those, what are they called? They're like nodes on your fucking scalp or some shit, and you're connected to the nodes, and they're monitoring like your brain waves, right? And it's like coming out. So you want to think of yourself as like that head that has all these nodes coming out of it. And then there's a screen that is connecting these nodes to your scalp. And that screen is the 3D, and your knowingness is what you are going to see on the screen, but it's coming from you. It's not coming from anywhere else. It's just like, I know this. And then, okay, the nodes are connecting. Here you go. Here's like a screen. It's like a virtual reality thing. It really is. Only you get what you think about. You get what you expect, and you get what you are focused on. You know what I mean? How free will works and why some people say SP has free will. If they're saying SP has free will, they are not, in my opinion, speaking correctly about the law, because there's only one consciousness. And if there's only one consciousness, everyone and everything is connected. But in that one, I'm just having fun with my tripod over here. He's doing a little dance. Because there's only one consciousness, but you are having the experience as the observer. Like I said, like those things that are connected, the nodes to like the screen of space that you're seeing, you are the only one in there that is projecting onto that screen. There is no one else there, though there might be other characters in the fucking movie. They are still abiding by what your mind is projecting that they do, because they are part of the show as well. And the show is being run by you. There is no one else running that show. Because even if you're thinking about someone, you can't, I'm thinking about SP, so they must be thinking this or that or the third about me. Like, only you are saying that. I think this person likes me. I think this person doesn't like me. I think this. I think it's cold. I think it's warm, right? Like I said in the beginning, okay, I like the thermostat below like 70 at all times. I don't want to see a 70 on you know what I'm saying? Someone else might be like, oh, you like it too cold. And I'm like, well, I think it's perfect. And someone else, I think it's too cold. Okay? So you can only think whatever you are thinking. That's it. And whatever you think someone else is thinking, you have likely seen reflected back to you. Oh, I know this motherfucker don't like me. Oh, I know they're in love with me. I know they're obsessed with me. And likely you've seen that play out. So that should be all the proof that you need. Yes, we live in a mental universe. The all is mind. The universe is mental. That's from the Kabbalion. That is one of my favorite books. I mean, I still go back to it, honestly, because it's just something where every time I read it, I gain a new insight or perspective and I understand it better. But I highly recommend the Kabbalion, the 7 Hermetic Principles. I really recommend that book. It's great. It's, I feel like a lot of people got started on this whole manifestation shit through Abraham Hicks and the whole vortex notion and things like that. But like the Kabbalion, what is it? Obviously the Bible. Only the Bible, you really have to read it in like a metaphorical sense. The Kabbalion, reality transurfing is something where it's like more scientifically based. The movie, the book, The God Academy. It's called The White Book, another one. Like, there's so many good books, but like, I recommend, like, how you are, okay? So if you're more like spiritually inclined, I'd recommend like a channeled text, such as Ramtha, The White Book by J.Z. Knight. Or the Kabbalion is good too. It's like esoteric. If you're more into like science, then I would go with anything by Joe Dispenza, or I would go with Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland. If you're new, then I would recommend The Secret. I'd recommend anything by Abraham Hicks, okay? If you're more about like wanting to manifest for health specifically, I would go with looking at anything by Bruce Lipton. Neville Goddard is always like a tried and true, I feel like his works are easily palatable by like a multitude of different type of mental capacities. So like, it's kind of like, in my opinion, everyone should read Neville Goddard or listen to the story, the Barbados story. That's just my opinion though, but you do what you want. Okay. Yeah, Alan Watts, Ram Dass with Be Here Now. I have that book. I love that book. It's like trippy as fuck. Reverend Ike. And then there's another guy, Brian Tracy. I never heard of him, but I've been seeing him a lot on TikTok. Yeah, Joseph Murphy. I have Joseph Murphy's book, but I haven't like read the whole thing. I'm more familiar with Neville. But like there's different, like it just depends on the way that you take in information. Okay, like, or what you're interested in specifically. Like, Abraham Hicks, I think, has good content for like someone newly on the path, but I do think it can be confusing because it makes, I know this is not necessarily what they're talking about, but they make it seem like you have to feel good all the time. And I think that can be confusing for people also just, starting on the path, because they're like, wait, but what do you mean if I'm in a bad mood, I can't have what I want? Like, so that's the only thing that I would disagree with them. But like Neville, I feel is like very concise and to the point. And he's just like, go to the end. What is it? Oh, Florence Scovel Shinn. I feel like she's also like a very neutral person that a lot of people could, understand what she said. Yo, I just fucking said it. You said it too. Holla, synchronicity. yeah, staying in the vortex and being happy all the time. Like, what even is that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, like I can kind of see where they're going from for that, but I don't know. I mean, it's just, if you're happy all the time, I don't, in my opinion, that's not the God state. The God state is neutral. You're just calm. You're like, okay, you're in a state of surrender. You're in a state of flow. Like, all right, whatever it is, what it is, you know? But like to be constantly happy, I don't think anyone is constantly happy unless they're like constantly on some shit. You know what I mean? I think like, you know, like I said before, the biggest thing with manifesting is, you know, make a decision, see if you have any beliefs that contradict it. If you do, then work on getting rid of those beliefs, replace them with better beliefs. But that's all you need to do. You can do visuals. I mean, if you're doing techniques because you enjoy Adriana, I think a little over an hour because I just got the puzzle piece. But you know, time doesn't exist. So thank you for joining. Oh my God, what the hell was I saying? I fucking forget. I forget what I was saying. This is what happens when you think so fast and you're always in the moment. Oh yes, you are the technique. Exactly. Thank you. So you don't need to do the techniques if you're feeling good affirming or visualizing, then of course do it. And you know, like if you're comfortable with doing that, but you don't need to do that to manifest. If you enjoy it, then yes, but also you don't want to burn yourself out thinking that the whole manifestation thing is like a chore. Oh no, if I don't sit in the closet and affirm for 20 minutes every day, I'm not going to get what I want. Then there you go. There's your assumption. If you don't do this or if you do that, you're going to get what you want or you're not going to get what you want. So you make all the rules. And if you make the rules, then that means you can change the rules at any time you want, or you can just say there are no rules. I always get what I want because I'm the Lord and there is none else. You know. How do you get rid of resistance? It really depends what you have resistance to. But I would just keep saying it's done now. Whenever the topic comes to mind, it's done now. If you have a subconscious belief that contradicts it, then you would want to affirm the opposite of that belief to help you along there. But resistance, if you just say it's done now, I'm not thinking about this any further. And then the thought comes up, oh, but when is it going to happen? And it's done now. How's it going to happen? It's done now. And then the voice would be like, well, how the fuck do you know that? And you just say, bitch, I'm God. I know everything. I'm the Lord and there is none else. It's done now. Shh. Like, literally, there have been times that, like, if I, like, get, like, an ego thought, I'm just like, shh. And it's like, the fuck? You just shush me, motherfucker? Like, hell yeah, because I'm the Lord and there is none else. Yes, exactly. People get caught up in techniques when it's your decision. That's the power. I totally agree. Ooh, namaste from the UK. Holla. What time is it in the UK now? I'm thinking, you know what? I don't even know. I'm not even gonna, like, guess. Ooh, thank you for the rose. Oh, 522. Okay, so I don't know if this is like your morning routine or your nighttime routine. But you fired the negative Nancys that used to talk smack. Oh my God. Ooh, okay, 522 in Ireland. Oh yeah, is Ireland part of the UK? Ooh, 222 in Australia. Oh shit. Okay. Wow. I love it. See, this is even more proof that time doesn't exist. Thank you for the roses, because it's a different time where we all are. 1122 in Alabama. Holla. Northern Ireland is UK. Okay. Yeah. 123 in Japan. Wow. I love this. We got everyone up in the chat tonight, this evening. 12:30 noon in the Philippines. Okay. Woo, Argentina. Oh, wow. 1:23 a.m. in Argentina. 11:23 Pacific Northwest. Dallas, Texas, Germany. Oh, snap. We got a whole bunch of different time zones in here. Thank you for joining. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ooh. Oh, snap. Yo, Scottsdale, Arizona. I've actually been to Scottsdale. I like the weather there. Ew, Colorado. I like the heat. I'm very, although I probably would say I prefer like tropical climate, but I like anywhere that has like heat and palm trees. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We're all in our time zone. Ooh, Nebraska. What is up? Thank you, Soul Rituals. We're all in our own time zone and we're all here now. So it's like, I saw this thing on TikTok where someone was saying that like airports are like portals because you're literally like traveling through time and like, oh my God, all you have is cows and corn. Are you serious? I've never been, I mean, I don't know. Like I've seen maybe in movies what places like that look like, but I've never experienced one in person. They were saying that like airports because you can go to different, yeah, I saw that too. TikTok is a portal. They were saying because you can go to, thank you, Blue Yoshi, because you can go to these different places and land up literally in another time zone. So they're like, oh, it's a portal. And then I saw that too on TikTok. Doorways or portals. Yeah, I've heard that too. Doorways or portals and mirrors. You have the best zoo in the nation? Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I don't know. I mean, what zoo, what is it called? Is there like a name for that zoo? I actually want to look it up. I'm like curious. I mean, I've never really been anywhere that's like not a major city. I know how that sounds, but like even like traveling on vacation, it's always been like a major city. So I don't know anything about like, areas that are like more like what someone considered country or like, you know what I mean? So I have not had that experience. Although I did kind of like, but it wasn't someplace that I stayed, but I've had those experiences and I can say I'm a city person, like fully. You've been doing mirror work and you've been seeing someone else in the mirror. It's crazy. Oh, snap. I hope it was a good someone, Shelly. You're seeing someone else. That's amazing. Someone you enjoy, hopefully, Can we talk about those? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just got black today. Well, not today, a few days ago, but it's time for fill, so I just went in. Ooh. Henry Dorley Zoo, it's huge. 2 days, oh my God. Wow. Okay, thank you. I want to look that up. Okay, let me see. I can't even remember the last time I went to a zoo. Probably like years ago. Henley. Is it really the largest zoo in like the United States? Oh my God, it's in Omaha. Okay, well, Omaha's kind of like a major city, isn't it? It's like, isn't that the capital? I'm not even gonna remember geography right now, but I think that was the capital of Nebraska, isn't it? Ooh, it has an underground like water tunnel. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get too much into that. Yes, okay, major city. Oh, Lincoln is the capital. Oh, snap. See, yeah, that's how much I know. Thank you for clarifying. Lincoln, Nebraska, Omaha. Okay. I think Omaha, I don't know. Omaha resonates with me more. I feel like I've heard of it more frequently, but you hate going to zoos. I don't know if I'm like a fan of going to zoos. Like I kind of just don't see the point. Like for me, it's not like, I mean, if someone's into that, they're into that, but it's not really my cup of tea. Like I don't know, there's other things I'd rather do personally. Ooh, Omaha beat San Diego Zoo. You know what's funny? I think I've been to the San Diego Zoo. I think I've actually been there. I don't really remember it though. Aquariums are so boring. Yo, that's hysterical. I mean, yeah, I don't, that and like even museums and things like that, where something that you're walking through, like, I don't see the point. Like, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm just not into that. I like more action oriented things. Like, I like, uh, I like haunted houses. I like amusement parks. Yeah, hell yeah, haunted houses are fucking lit. Haunted houses are fucking lit. And you want to interact at the zoo. Oh my god. I don't even think about the zoo. And like, I don't know, for me, ooh, corn mazes. I've never been in one of those, but they sound fun. I would want to go in one of those. Um, yeah, the thing with the zoo for me, I'm like, it always stinks and I can't like I literally I'm like okay no that and even like the circus and shit. You ever been to the circus? I don't even know if they still use animals. I think they had something going on where they're like they want to take live animals out of circus performances. But I remember going to a circus and it fucking I was like oh my god I can't with the fucking smell of shit. Like why? Like we're not doing this. A peacock chased your son at the zoo? Oh my god, what the hell? Why was it loose? That is crazy. Ooh, you love yeah, India looks like a fascinating place. I want to go to the Osho retreat there in India. Like that to me looks like fun. That looks super fun. Yeah, animal labor. I don't like that too because it's like, okay, why are you forcing them to like do that? And like even the same, oh, they don't cage them. Okay, that explains it. But that's like crazy. I mean, yeah, peacock. I didn't know peacocks like chase people. Um, yeah, I can imagine you were stressed. I don't like the idea of like caging animals just to look at them for like fun. I mean, let's say there's like an animal that they can't be in the wild because they have some sort of like physical disability or something and they wouldn't survive, then yeah, keep them in like a sanctuary. But like a zoo, like just to look at and be a spectacle, like I don't know. For me personally, I don't agree with that, but I really don't care if anyone else does. Ooh, they do rituals there? Oh shit, what kind of rituals? What is a I am not going to be able to pronounce that. A Kamb Mela? I totally butchered that. I'm absolutely certain. But I have no idea. Oh my god. Was it a male peacock with the big like plumage and shit? Because I'm picturing a peacock running around and I'm like, wow, that's like just the thought of it is kind of wacky for me. But like, I don't know. I'm not I don't know. It's not my thing. Like I like haunted houses and amusement parks. Like that those are probably my go-tos. Or like I like arcades. I like shit like that. Like something where I feel like I'm doing something instead of just walking around. Like why am I just gonna walk around and not do anything? Like I want to do something action oriented. I guess maybe because I'm an Aries. I don't know. Ooh, escape rooms. Ooh, I pronounced it properly. Okay, I'm happy. Aries gang. Hell yeah. I have never been to an escape room, but they look super fun. I would love to go to one, but I think you had to go with like a whole group of people, right? Or else it's like not fun. So it's just about like how many of the motherfuckers can I drag to go to the escape room with me. Hey Kylie, thank you for joining. Yeah, I've heard that it's better to go with a group because it's like I don't know. I feel like it's like more of like a party atmosphere if you're going with people that you know anyway. Thank you for the heart. Can you go like do they serve drinks there? Like you go and like sip a cocktail and do that? Cause that would be super fun for me. That's something that I'd be like, I would be super down. escape room, and then we're sipping on some shit. Hell yeah. Ooh, thank you, Alexandria, for the gifts. Ooh, Shelly, you're Gemini. You're chilly. You are on a wild adventure. There's no in between. Oh my god. Hey, that's super fun though. Like Geminis, there's never a dull moment, like ever. Solving puzzles buzzed. Hell yeah. Like, I mean, why not? I want to, you know what I've always wanted to do, which is like, I don't even know if they I don't even know if it's a real thing, but I've seen in like TV shows that they have these things where it's like a murder mystery weekend, and like motherfuckers go to like some resort or hotel, whatever, and it's like a theme, and they're there for the weekend, and it's like they have like a mystery going on. It's like a killer or something, and then someone in the group is a killer, but they set it up and you all have to look for clues. Oh my god. I have like a fetish for that. I've always wanted to go, but I don't even know if they're real. I really, like, are they real? Shelly, you get in trouble for your thoughts. Hey, I mean, it's only trouble if you perceive it as trouble. Yeah, a more adult version of Clue. I definitely would want to do that. And then they have like dinners and drinks and shit like that. It's like an adventure type of thing. I definitely would do that. I love that shit. I love like mysteries and all that. I fucking love it. So I don't even know how we got on this topic. That was super random. That was super, super, super random. Ooh. Can you talk about getting crumbs and how to deal with it? Crumbs of what? Like, I mean, if you're talking about the full manifestation not being conformed, you don't deal with it. You just say it's already done, and you don't acknowledge that there's crumbs or no crumbs or anything else. You keep your mind on what it is that you want, no matter what the outside is telling you. And it's the same process for anything that you would be manifesting. You're not getting crumbs. You're perceiving that you're getting crumbs, but really you ought to be perceiving that the thing is already done. So whatever is happening in the 3D, it doesn't matter. That's exactly the process. Like, to manifest one thing is to manifest anything, and that's just focus on what you want, tune out what you don't want, and the thing will appear. You don't, oh my god, tripod. Hey, we're having fun tonight. You focus on what you want, tune out what you don't want, and the thing has no choice but to show up, because your awareness is now not on the lack of it. It's on, okay, I'm so in the state of knowing that it's done that nothing on the outside or nothing in my mind is going to derail me from that. Oh, yeah, Shelly, that's it. Anytime it comes to mind, say it's already done. That is exactly how you go about it. Hell yeah. You're welcome. You had to imagine complete scenes. For example, SP bringing you flowers. I mean, if that's what you want to happen, you can. But you know, if you want the end goal, and the end goal is not just flowers, I would go right to the end. Because it's like, oh, thank you for the rose. If you want a specific end goal, okay, and you're saying, I'm happily married to SP, that's what I want, but then you're focused on a text message. Let's have a moment of silence. Because you don't want a text message. You don't, that's not your end goal. If all you want is a text message, then sure, focus on getting the text message. But likely that is not what you want. So go right to the end. Go right to the end. Go right to the end. We're happily married. The text message will happen at a certain point. Because if you're happily married to them, I mean, they had to have gotten in touch with you somehow. Or maybe they called you. Like, individuals can focus too much on like the tiny details that don't even matter, and then they're causing resistance by saying, oh, it has to happen a specific way, when the thing has already happened. So why are you bothering yourself with saying that it has to happen a specific way if the thing is already done? You get an IKEA fucking bookshelf already assembled, delivered to your door. Okay. But how do I assemble it? But my dude, it's right there. It's standing right in front of you, already assembled. No, but I need to, like, when is it going to be assembled? Do I need to buy a tool to assemble it? My dude, it's already there. All you got to do is look at it. Wow, look at my brand new IKEA bookshelf. Oh, man. This looks so fine. I'm a jerk off to it. Like, that's all you have to do. The fuck? You know what I mean? Just put your books on it. You love my brain? Thank you. What does detachment mean to me? You're not going to be detached from your desire, because you are your desire. It's just that you're not allowing the ego to infiltrate your state of being by being attached to it. So you're going to say, oh, my ego is just, complacent in knowing that it's done. It's detachment of the ego. It's not detaching from the desire. Oh my God, this is why am I kicking this stand? Okay. So you're not detached from the desire. You're just not checked into the ego's attachment to it. So you're saying, okay, yeah, maybe the ego has a story, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care because it's already done. And the point of neutrality, like let's say when someone doesn't care about the manifestation or they've given up, that is actually a great point to be, because now you don't have any attachment because you don't care, because you don't want it anymore. In that way where it's an attachment or it's a big deal, you might still want it, like, okay, it's done, but you know what, whenever it happens or how it happens, it's out of my hands, I don't care. You let that go, and you're neutral because you don't have any resistance to the thing already being there. So even if you turn your focus away from it for a second, that could be considered detachment, because you're not actively focused on it enough to even be holding it in a place of resistance. You're just not, your awareness is not placed on it at all, and that brings you to true neutral, which is alignment. Has TikTok helped me shift timelines? I mean, my honest answer is no. I mean, if you want the truth. Shifting timelines is something that I was aware of before TikTok was even like popular. So, I mean, for my experience anyway, I mean, they like, I do know that they have like a shift talk here where they're talking about shifting and all this stuff, which I mean, I'm sure is interesting content. I've never really like paid super much attention to it. Because they'll tell you different things to do, like put on a certain music or say a certain thing. And it's like, I mean, for me, like I explained in the beginning of the video, how to shift timelines. All you have to do is go into your imagination. It's really not that complicated. You see what in the algorithm? The shift talk? Because I've seen those, and I mean, I honestly don't pay attention. So if they have any like type of thing on there, I remember like seeing a few videos where like people would be talking about what happened after they shifted, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I just didn't hold my interest, honestly, because for me, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna imagine this or that, and then it would happen. An easy way to shift is to do something you've been procrastinating on. I could see that. You know what videos I've been seeing is where where they're saying if you do something like totally out of pocket, that you're shifting your reality just because you like broke the matrix or something. I've been seeing a lot of those types of videos, which I kind of agree with, where if you're stepping out of your comfort zone, even if like, I don't know, you always get pepperoni pizza and then you decide to get pineapple, right? Like that's something maybe super out of the ordinary for you. And then, could that shift you? Yeah, maybe, but remember, you don't even need to do an action. You just shift in your mind. So if you perceive that you have to perform a physical action in order to shift, then that's how it's going to play out, because it's law of assumption. Ooh, Shelly, you started the Kabbalion? Hell yeah. What do you think of it? Because I love it. That's like one of my top favorite ones. Oh, when the algorithm changes up, a shift has been made. Yeah, that's true. But the shift came from you internally. Whether you performed a physical action or not, it still came from you, on the internal. You're breaking a physical pattern. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But, the thing is, like, if you're faced with a pattern, okay, or if, like, you notice, like, something similar, like, it looks like it's beginning to loop, that is where I recommend that you really shift. You perform a physical action, or you don't have to, that's different from the way that you would have reacted to that pattern, but most importantly, you shift in your mind and you don't feed into it. Like, I was recently in a situation, not in a situation, I was in observance of a situation that, like, presented itself. And I was like, okay. And then a very, very similar situation presented itself again, like almost to a T. And I was like, no fucking way. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I was like, you know what? I don't want to see this shit surface a third time. So I said, no, that's it. It's done. And I didn't pay any attention to it. I didn't do anything in the 3D. I didn't, do anything in my mind. I was like, okay, no more attention for you. I'm looking over here. And then that shit, here's the thing. It did kind of surface again, but in the way that the similar thing presented itself, that already was different. And I saw that. So I was like, oh, okay, good. I broke the pattern because I chose not to react to it. So something kind of echoed. I think Bashar calls it echoing, like, but I was observing something similar, but then it was totally different at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. Ooh, I'm glad that you love I'm glad that you love the Kabbalion, Shelley. It's so good. I love the way that it's written. There's something about the way that it's written that just turns me on. I just love it. I love that old-timey language. It's so amazing to me. Mm-hmm. How do you manifest and not just affirm? Wishful thinking. Well, if you think about it, like, manifestation really is just thinking about the thing that you want. So if you're thinking about something and you're daydreaming and you don't consider that manifestation, in a way, it still is like a manifestation because you're giving your focus to it, So you could be daydreaming, and if that daydream is like pleasurable and comfortable for you, then why not? Just continue with it. It is like a manifestation. It's just that you're labeling it different things. But anytime you place your focused awareness anywhere, whether you consider it a daydream or an intentional, imaginal act, you're still placing your focus there. That's it. Yo, Shelly, for real. It's like entering another era when you're reading it. I definitely agree. Like, I love it. Oh my God, I love it. You know who I love reading too about, like, well, this is getting more esoteric, but some of it relates to manifestation. I love reading Aleister Crowley. I love reading Aleister Crowley. Like, oh my God, what he says, my favorite quote of his in terms of manifestation: the axle moveth not, attain thou that. Bruh. The axle moveth not, attain thou that. Like, I just, oh my God. Yo, Shelly, if you like the Kybalion, you're gonna love the way Aleister Crowley fucking writes. It's so amazing. It is so amazing. And what that basically means, the axle moveth not, attain thou that, is like when you are unwavering, right? The axle, whatever that part is on the wheel, but it's not turning. The wheel is turning, whatever, and the axle is just there. The axle is just steady. It's steady no matter what the wheels are turning. I believe that's what it is in like the car sense. But I can tell you in the metaphysical faculty, what he means by that is you stay unmoved no matter what is going on. The axle moveth not. Whatever is going on spinning around the axle doesn't move. It just stays there. Attain thou that means this is what you want to ideally maintain in your mind no matter what is happening in the 3D. If you don't move, you are the focal point, and then the circumstances have no choice but to move, because you're remaining the same, you're remaining neutral. And what this also means is you're not trying to fight with it. The axle moveth not. That means, yeah, you don't try to like fuck with the circumstance. You don't try to, you're just like, okay, yeah, well, that showed up, but I know who I am. You're not trying to fight with it. Okay, you're just like, well, that happened. Okay, cool, moving on, right? So it's like the same thing. You just don't waver from knowing what it is that you want and who you are. The axle moveth not. Yo, I like, man, I love me some Aleister Crowley. But that's what that means. So anything that you're manifesting, as long as your consciousness is like, okay, yeah, it's done, you leave it alone, the thing is done. It'll present itself to you very quickly, but you can't, like, if you're shaken about by like 3D circumstances, ooh, thank you for the gift, then that means that the circumstances move you. Oh, thank you for the roses, Jasmine. How to persist without forcing anything is exactly what I just said. The axle moveth not, attain thou that. So you're just persisting in your mind. You're just saying it's done. It's already done. It's already done. There's nothing for me to do because it's already done. And you're not gonna like react to a 3D circumstance. You just be like, oh, okay, that happened. Cool story, bro. And you're just gonna continue to focus on what you want. Because you're never forcing anything, Yes, exactly, Shelly. Relaxing into the knowing, what some might want to call it like surrendering or letting go, which is like you're not letting go of your desire. You're just letting go of like, you're letting go of your awareness that it's a desire. And you're just saying it's already done. So now if you've let go of your awareness that it's a desire and you're saying it's already done, then there is nothing for you to do, just like I said with the bookshelf with the IKEA furniture. Like, okay, the bookshelf is already assembled. So what are we doing about it? Nothing, because it's already assembled, right? So like someone said, like you just start putting the books on it. So, okay, so the manifestation is already done, right? So let's say I'll go with 20 million in a fucking duffel bag of cash. Okay, so now I have my 20 million that was gifted to me from me, by me, to whatever, right? Because I'm me giving it to myself. I have 20 million in cash now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I might buy a property here, I might buy a property there, right? I'm placing my books on the shelf. That was a great analogy. I don't remember who said that, but thank you so much for that. That was a good one. Okay, the bookshelf is already assembled. You're not fucking with how you're going to assemble. You're already on the next thing, okay? Because consciousness keeps flowing. And that'll also, in a way, kind of trick your mind into saying that it already fucking happened. Because if you're like, okay, well, now I got to buy books to put on the bookshelf, then that, in a way, is also taking your focus off of how is the bookshelf going to be assembled, because it already is. You're just like, okay, so what am I doing next, because it's already done. So it kind of tricks you into believing that it's already done, because if it's already done, then yes, you would logically be thinking about the next step, which is going to trick your ego. Okay. Oh, we got Leos in the house. I know I saw some Aries. I know we got Gemini. This is great. This is great. I mean, I'm into astrology. I am aware that it is a belief system though, but I'm into it. So, it is what it is. Ooh, Gemini. Ooh, love you too. In the blink of an eye. Hell yeah. Capricorn, Taurus, Leo. Woo. Pisces, Libra. I think we got all the zodiacs in here. We got all the zodiac signs. Ooh. I'm in Aries. Ooh, Aquarius. Hey, Jenny. Thank you for joining. Ooh, Aquarius, Gemini. We got everyone up in here. Like, literally. The whole zodiac tribe is chilling tonight. Scorpio. What is up, Scorpio? Yes, so astrology is a belief system. I have fun with it, but like, even with the manifestation, people that are like, okay, well, we have different zodiac signs, or they're not compatible, or there's a transit coming. And, you do realize that all of those things are still belief systems. So it's like, if you believe that you're not compatible with someone because of astrology, then that's what's going to play out for you, right? Or if you're looking at someone from the perspective of like, negative characteristics of their zodiac sign, as they say stereotypically in astrology. Aries are impatient. Oh yeah, I am, bitch. Now what time doesn't exist? How I'm fucking impatient. You know what I mean? Because if there's no time, what is the fuck? Whatever. Okay, so I wouldn't take anyone's perceived negative characteristics into consideration. Like, all Sagittarius are like this, all Pisces are like that, right? Like, or you had I don't know, a fucking Taurus X, and they did this and they did that. Like, because I used to fucking do that, right? Like, I used to like deal with a sign, and then I would be like, oh, so is the next sign that I deal with like that gonna be, similar? But they're all different people. So if you're like, perceiving someone that they're going to behave a certain way because of a zodiac sign, you might as well assign it the most positive meaning that you can if you're into manifestation. Aquarius, I think Aquarius are loving and clingy. I have to be honest. I agree with that. I mean, I don't know where like that stereotype that Aquarius are cold come from. Like, I've never seen Aquarius like that. I'll tell you, I'm like, they are? I'm like, no, they're not. But again, that's my perception. Or like Aries are rude and Aries are assholes. Like, yeah, I mean, anyone can be rude or an asshole, but like, and I'll say that because I'm an Aries, so that's like a conception about Aries. I'm like, have you met Aries? A lot of Aries are like the fucking most like sweet, like gentle individuals. Like, but it depends, Ooh, your sun is an Aries. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's all on like perception, and of course with astrology, you have moon sign, Mars sign, rising sign, like, there's all of those too. So I just wouldn't. Oh, your husband is an Aries, Shelley. Aries and Gemini. Yeah, that's a good match. I mean, astrologically speaking. Geminis are like, they're always interesting. They can keep an Aries on their toes. It's like, wait, what? Like, it's entertaining. I think Geminis are hilarious. But like, the sun sign, the moon sign, all that shit, I just like, whenever I read like zodiac stuff, I always make sure that I put like a positive spin to it, no matter what. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, let me just look at their positive traits, because again, it's like the law of what you perceive. So I wouldn't want to perceive is someone that I'm dealing with as like, they're going to be like this or they're going to be like that, and I had to be mindful of that, because I would do that. I'd be like, oh my God, I dated this sign, and then someone else comes up and they're the same sign. I'm like, I don't know if I want to fuck with that again, but then I have to like remind myself, oh, they're different, they're different, they're different. Ooh, you're a Leo and your SP is Sag. Yeah, fire signs. Woof. He always says that you entertain him, but you're crazy. Well, hey, I mean, Aries like that crazy entertainment. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. I definitely like have fun whenever I'm with a Gemini. I'm like, wait, what? Like, because it's like the conversations are so random. Like, it's like, okay, it's going in one direction. All of a sudden, we're over here. Like, wait, what? What just happened? But it's entertaining. Your SP is a Libra and you're a Gemini. Woo, nice. Leo and Aquarius, fire and air. I mean, it depends on like, like what they say in astrology, like fire and air are compatible, but again, it's like all your perception. So you can have like, let's say a Sagittarius and a Cancer, and that in astrology it doesn't look favorable, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it, right? Shelly, I know. Oh my god. I'm sure you have so much fun with your husband. You're an Aquarius and you dated a Leo is great until it wasn't. Oh, well, hey. I mean, sometimes shit happens, you know? But, like, again, astrology, because you believe in it, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It means that it's still in manifestation, right? Just like tarot readings or any other type of thing, or numerology, you know. Is affirming literally just our thoughts? Yes. Ooh, Sagittarius, Leo rising, nice. He goes to work to get a break. Oh my god. I mean, hey, he's with you, so he enjoys something. He is like loving every ounce of that Gemini. He's like, oh man, this is so much fun. If if your thoughts are constantly in your favor, your 3D is bound to be in your favor. Yeah, I mean, just see if you have any subconscious beliefs underneath your conscious thoughts. And how you would find that out is if you have like a recurring pattern somewhere in your life. That's how you'd find out. Oh yeah, they say I've always seen that too. What they say about the sister signs, like the opposite signs. I mean, I don't know. For me, I always thought of it like an inside out type of thing. Like I don't know, like one is exhibiting on the outside what the other one is doing on the inside. You know what I mean? That's the way I've always looked at it. It's just but I don't know, I don't really get the whole sister thing. I'm like, what? Like I feel like they're more just like inside out versions of each other. Like I don't know, a Capricorn is outwardly expressing what a Cancer is internally thinking about, and vice versa. At least that's what like I've noticed with different people. Mirror, yes, especially in like relationships with opposite signs. It could be like, whoa, like, I mean, I don't know. It could, like, again, I don't want to get too much into astrology because it's based off of perception, but with opposite sign relationships, I've noticed that, like, it could be, whoa, or it can be like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, one is outwardly doing what the other one secretly wants to say. Like I don't know how to describe it, so in my opinion, it can get competitive, but it really just depends. Ooh, soul rituals, have a good night, you're going to bed, okay. Well, thank you for joining. So I don't know how long I've been talking, but this is going to go on YouTube at a certain point, and I don't want to get it to be too long where it takes super long to upload. Need to look at the whole chart. Yeah, I agree, because it's like there's, you know, the moon sign, the Venus, and all of this, you know. It's like sun sign astrology is basic, you know, but even to like the degree of, you know, are we compatible because of this or that, it's still like, even if the chart says you're not compatible, you would still spin it ideally to a way where it's going to serve you. Either that, or you're just like, oh, it's fun looking at the chart, it says we're not compatible, but I don't care because this is my dream person, right? You know. So, just to recap, in the beginning, I did give a long sermon as to, you know, for any of you who are just joining, whatever. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Maybe they got the birth time or date wrong. I mean, yeah, you could go with that. That's not really their chart. Nope, wrong birth time. But like, if any of you are interested how to shift, shift a timeline, it is going to be in the beginning of this video when it's posted on YouTube. So I went into it there. I went into how to, you know, shift something from the past and how to shift something from a perceived future, how you intersect at, let me bring my lovely drawing up again, at the juncture point. So that is why I discussed in depth, and then I don't even remember what else I went into, because why would I? Yes. The YouTube links are in the bio, and my YouTube channel is the same as my username on here. So that's really, you know, just what I want to touch on. And then I'll review the video and see what the fuck else I talked about, because I don't fucking remember, because I was talking for a while, and that's usually what happens when I get on here, because time doesn't exist. So thank you all for joining, for liking, for sharing, for the comments, for the conversations, for the gifts. This will be on YouTube. I will see you with more content on TikTok. Enjoy the rest of, I know we have like a international audience over here, so enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening. Thank you. Shelly, thank you for joining. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. And I will talk to you guys. Ooh, thank you for the rose. Thank you so much. I will talk to you guys soon. Good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at. Bye.